glass falls. The cat flinches. You laugh it off. They don't. They never do. Cats remember everything. Not like humans. They don't journal. They don't gossip. But they store emotional snapshots. Every smell, sound, and movement gets logged. You might think they're zoning out when they stare at you, but they're actually reviewing a highlight reel of your greatest betrayals. So today, we're breaking down the 10 things your cat will never forgive, and why their memory is far more powerful than you think. 1. Raising your voice. To a cat, your yell isn't just annoyed human noise. It's an explosion. Their ears are fine-tuned to detect the smallest rustle of prey in the grass. So when you shout, it's like setting off a bomb in their head. Maybe you were mad at the TV, or you dropped your phone, or you told them to get off the counter. Doesn't matter. That sound imprints in their brain as danger. The next time you approach, they'll pause, eyes wide, tail twitching. And here's the scary part. They remember tone. You can apologize all you want, but their brain keeps that sound on file. It becomes part of their survival code. When that voice rises, run. So yeah, your cat might look calm when you raise your voice, but deep down, they're clocking every decibel like a tiny emotional archivist. 2. Touching without permission. Cats are not touchy-feely roommates. They're landlords. You live in their space. When you reach out mid-nap or grab them without warning, that's a trespassing violation. Their body is sacred territory, and you just barged in without knocking. You might think, what's the big deal? I just wanted to pet them. They think, that's the hand that woke me up last Tuesday. It sounds dramatic. But cats don't forget invasions of comfort. Their nervous system remembers where and when they felt startled. And because they associate touch with safety, one bad grab can undo months of trust. Next time they approach, they'll sniff your hand first, check your angle, measure your mood. Cats forgive slowly and sometimes not at all, especially if you broke the golden rule. Don't touch a sleeping cat. 3. Playing too rough. You wiggle your fingers. They pounce. It's adorable, until claws sink in and suddenly you're bleeding. So you pull away, yell no, and your cat looks confused. That's because you started a game their instincts took seriously. When you make your hands the toy, you blur the line between play and attack. Then, when you punish them for responding, they feel betrayed. Now they don't know when you're safe. Your hands went from playtime to punishment in one day. That unpredictability sticks. Cats crave consistency. It tells them who's friend and who's threat. So when you move too fast later, even just to pet them, that hesitation you see in their eyes, that's memory. They're asking, is this the game where I get hurt again? 4. Harsh discipline. Spraying water, swatting, yelling, the classic training tricks. All of them destroy trust. Cats don't connect cause and effect the way you think. You're not teaching them not to scratch the couch. You're teaching them you are unsafe. They remember the moment, the fear, and most importantly, the source. And unlike dogs, cats don't see you as pack leader. They see you as a roommate with unpredictable mood swings. Once that line is crossed, good luck repairing it. You can buy treats, new toys, even a fancy scratching post, but deep down, they'll always remember the version of you that scared them. And fear, once planted in a cat's mind, takes a very long time to die. 5. Ignoring their needs. You missed feeding time. You left the litter box dirty. You didn't notice the limp or the bald patch or that silent meow that meant help. To you, it's life being busy. To them, it's betrayal. Cats don't nag. They wait. They watch. And when their routine breaks, they don't complain. They just stop trusting the world around them. If food doesn't come when it should, or their box smells like a crime scene, they don't think, oh, he's late. They think, my environment isn't safe anymore. Neglecting a cat isn't about cruelty, it's about chaos. They thrive on predictability. Every skipped meal, every ignored signal becomes a note in their emotional ledger. And they do keep score. 6. Rearranging their territory. You move the couch, shift the litter box, or redecorate for aesthetics. Your cat sees it as a home invasion. Their world is built on scent and spatial memory. Every object, every path, every sleeping spot tells them, you're safe here. When you change that, you erase their mental map. They'll walk around sniffing every inch, tail low, eyes wide, not curious, anxious. They have to rebuild their sense of home from scratch. Do it often, and they'll start withdrawing, sleeping in corners, avoiding eye contact, maybe even marking territory just to say, this is still mine. So next time you rearrange the living room, remember, to your cat, you didn't move a chair. You moved the entire universe. 7. Waking them up. It's 3 p.m. Your cat is melted into a sunbeam, purring softly, whiskers twitching in some perfect little dream, and you poke them awake. Why? Because they looked cute. Because you wanted that slow stretch for a TikTok or a photo. Because you couldn't resist. Congratulations. You just committed emotional theft. Cats aren't lazy. Those hours of sleep aren't a quirk, they're survival. Sleep is when their bodies repair muscle, regulate hormones, and process everything that happened that day. Waking them mid-nap isn't adorable. It's like yanking someone out of deep REM sleep and demanding they smile for a selfie. They come out groggy, disoriented, and annoyed. They remember exactly where it happened and who did it. And they'll act on that memory. They'll shift sleeping spots, hide under furniture, or retreat to a high shelf just to keep their peace. You'll start to notice they no longer curl up near you in the afternoon, and it will all trace back to that one cute moment you couldn't resist. In their world, you turned a sanctuary into a trap, and their brain won't forget it anytime soon. 8. Startling or scaring them. Cucumber pranks, balloons, Halloween masks, you name it. Humans have somehow turned feline terror into entertainment. But for your cat, those funny moments are full-blown panic attacks. A sudden shape behind them, a loud pop, or a strange object placed where they feel safe triggers their primal survival system in an instant. Their heart pounds, claws shoot out, muscles lock, and their body floods with adrenaline. In that split second, they're not your pet. They're prey fighting for their life. And when they realize it was you behind the scare, that's when the real damage begins. Because cats don't fear strangers as much as they fear unpredictability from the ones they trust. You're supposed to be their protector, their constant, their safe place. When you become the source of fear, the world tilts for them. Even days later, they'll still be on edge, flinching at shadows, twitching at tiny sounds, watching corners like something's waiting there. You might have laughed for 10 seconds, but they relive that terror quietly, over and over. That's the thing about cats. They don't forget fear, especially when it comes from love. The same brain that remembers warmth and affection also remembers betrayal with perfect clarity. So next time you're tempted to test their reaction for a laugh, remember, it's not a joke to them. It's trauma disguised as play. And they'll remember the scare long after you've forgotten the laugh. 9. Hurting their paws. Let's talk about paws, the most sacred, sensitive part of a cat's entire body. They're not just cute little jelly beans for you to poke and coo over. Each paw is a masterpiece of precision, packed with thousands of nerve endings, vibration sensors, and tiny scent glands that help them navigate the world. Cats feel the world through their feet, the way the ground shifts, the temperature of a surface, even the heartbeat of a mouse under the floorboards. Those paws are how they hunt, climb, stretch, and claim territory. So when you grab them, squeeze them, or trim their nails carelessly, it's not grooming, it's a violation. And declawing? That's beyond betrayal, because declawing isn't just taking off the nails, it's an amputation. The removal of the entire last bone of each toe. Imagine losing every fingertip down to the knuckle. Every step afterward burns. Every stretch reminds them of what's missing. A cat that's been declawed walks differently, moves differently, feels differently. Some develop chronic pain. Others slip into quiet depression. Even if they look normal on the outside, their body remembers what was taken. Their gait stiffens, their confidence fades, and something in their spirit dulls. Because you've altered the very tools nature gave them to feel safe. So when your cat pulls their paw away, flinches, or hides their feet, don't take it as rejection. That reaction isn't attitude, it's instinct. It's memory etched into their nerves over thousands of years of evolution. Their paws are their pride, their weapon, their balance, their sense of identity. You're not just touching their foot, you're touching a part of them that was designed to never forget pain. Handle it with reverence, and they might just learn to trust that touch again. 10. Forcing affection. You pick them up, you hug them tight, you say, "Aw, come on, just love me." They're stiff, they squirm, you don't let go. Congratulations. You've just turned love into confinement. To a cat, being restrained isn't affection, it's captivity. They're creatures built on freedom, control, and choice. Every muscle, every reflex in their body evolved to react fast, escape faster, and stay alive. So when you scoop them up without warning, their brain doesn't process hug. It processes, "I've been caught." Their heartbeat spikes, their whiskers stiffen, and their pupils widen, not from joy, but from panic. Even if your arms are gentle, instinct screams, "Trap." They'll remember everything. The smell of your shirt, the sound of your breath, the squeeze of your hands. That helpless moment becomes a permanent marker in their emotional memory. So the next time you reach for them, they'll brace, expecting that same loss of control. You'll think they're moody, but they're just protecting themselves from a memory you created. The truth is, cats don't hate affection. They just want to be the ones to offer it. When you let them come to you on their terms, everything changes. They'll nudge your hand, curl into your lap, maybe even purr against your chest. Because this time, it's their choice. That's real love for a cat. Not forced closeness, but earned closeness. Give them that freedom, and you'll get something far better than a hug. You'll get trust that lasts forever. Cats don't hold grudges, they hold memories. Their brains are wired for survival, not spite. In the wild, forgetting danger meant death, so they learned to link pain with memory. Even today, that instinct remains. They don't remember dates, they remember feelings. Who made them feel safe? Who made them flinch? A harsh sound, a grab, a scare, all get stored as emotional data. But the same wiring that remembers fear can also remember kindness. Every calm word, gentle touch, and predictable routine adds a new layer of trust. You can't erase a bad memory, but you can rewrite it with consistency and care. So if you've ever broken their trust, don't chase it. Rebuild it. Speak softly. Keep routines steady. Let them come to you. When they finally blink slowly or curl beside you again, that's not coincidence. That's forgiveness earned. If this made you see your cat a little differently, go show it. Give them space, offer a treat, and remember, they may not forgive instantly, but they'll never forget that you tried. If you felt this, show some love. Subscribe, like, and drop a comment below.